In the vast and silent expanse of space, the starship Venturer sailed gracefully through the asteroid belt of the Ceres system. Its hull, gleaming under the distant sun, housed a diverse crew of explorers from Earth, each an expert in their field, united by their mission to seek out new life and new civilizations. The captain, a seasoned veteran named Elias Walker, peered out into the void, his eyes scanning the horizon for any anomalies. Suddenly, the ship's alarm blared. "Unidentified object approaching from Sector 7G, the ship's AI, Lexi, announced in her calm, synthesized voice. Elias turned towards the main screen as the image of a small, spherical vessel popped up. It was unlike anything he had seen before. Its surface was smooth and metallic, reflecting the starlight in strange, shifting patterns. "Initiate first contact protocol," Elias ordered, his heart racing with the thrill of the unknown. First contact. As the alien vessel drew closer, the crew prepared for contact. Dr. Lena Reyes, the ship's xenobiologist, stood beside Elias, her eyes wide with anticipation. "It's completely unlike any design we've cataloged," she whispered. The alien ship halted at a safe distance, and after a tense moment of silence, a communication channel opened. A voice, clear and melodious, echoed through the Venturer's bridge. "Greetings from Valaris. I am Kayla." Elias responded, ensuring his tone was welcoming yet cautious. "Hello, Kayla. I'm Captain Elias Walker of the Earthship Venturer. We come in peace." The curious alien girl. There was a brief pause before Kayla spoke again. "I have observed your kind from afar. I am curious about your species. May I come aboard to learn more?" Elias exchanged a look with Lena. After a quick, silent consensus, he replied, "Yes, Kayla, you are welcome aboard the Venturer. We're curious about you as well." Minutes later, the crew gathered in the docking bay, watching as the alien vessel attached itself to their ship. The hatch opened, and out stepped Kayla. She was humanoid, her skin a shimmering silver that seemed to ripple with each movement. Her eyes, large and luminous, studied her surroundings with an almost childlike wonder. "Your ship is a marvel," she said, her voice filled with awe. "It is much different from my interior space." Lena stepped forward, offering a smile. "We're eager to learn about you and your technology, Kayla. What brings you to this part of space?" Kayla tilted her head, her eyes narrowing slightly in confusion. "I am on a journey of knowledge. My planet sent me to learn and return. I am like a seed." An intriguing proposition. As they toured the Venturer, Kayla's fascination with human technology was evident. She absorbed information rapidly, asking insightful questions that impressed the crew. However, it was during a conversation about human physiology that she made an unexpected inquiry. "What do you mean by saying that you'll be inside me?" Kayla asked suddenly, looking puzzled. Lena, who had been explaining the concept of medical scans, paused. "Oh, I meant that our scanning technology could look inside your body to understand your physiology better." Kayla nodded slowly, her face thoughtful. "I see. It is similar then. I can share my internal space too. It would allow for a deeper understanding." Elias raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "Are you suggesting that one of us should enter your vessel?" "Yes," Kayla confirmed. "It is equipped to sustain human life temporarily. It would be the most direct way to share knowledge." The proposal hung in the air, heavy with potential and risk. Elias knew this was an extraordinary opportunity, but it came with uncertainties. He looked at his crew, their faces a mixture of excitement and apprehension. "Let's discuss this further," he suggested, leading the way to the conference room. The possibilities were endless, and this first chapter of their encounter had just begun. Elias convened an urgent meeting with his senior officers to deliberate Kayla's proposal. The atmosphere in the conference room was charged with a mix of scientific curiosity and cautious skepticism. "We need to consider the risks," Dr. Amina Jackson, the chief medical officer, pointed out. "Entering an alien craft, no matter how friendly the invitation, exposes us to unknown biological and technological hazards." Lena nodded in agreement, but her eyes sparkled with the lure of discovery. "But think of what we could learn, Amina. It's a controlled environment, and Kayla seems willing to cooperate fully with our safety protocols. Elias listened, weighing each argument. If we're going to do this, I volunteer to go, he finally declared. The decision was met with mixed reactions, but the crew trusted their captain's judgment. Preparations. Over the next few hours, preparations were made. Kayla's vessel was docked securely, and Elias was equipped with a specialized suit designed to monitor his vital signs and provide immediate medical feedback to the ship's AI. Everything looks green, Captain, Lena confirmed as she checked the suit's systems one last time. Remember, any sign of trouble, you signal us, and we pull you out. Elias nodded, stepping through the airlock that connected to Kayla's vessel. The interior was unlike anything he had ever seen. The walls were lined with bioluminescent panels that pulsed gently, illuminating a space that seemed both organic and constructed. Inside the alien craft, Kayla was waiting for him. This is my core, she said, leading him deeper into the craft. The corridor opened into a larger chamber filled with structures that resembled control panels, but were incredibly advanced, with interfaces that responded to their proximity without touch. Your technology is impressive, Elias remarked, examining a panel that lit up with intricate symbols and diagrams. It is all grown, Kayla explained. We grow our technology as you might cultivate plants. It allows for perfect integration and self-repair. As they moved through various sections of the craft, Kayla shared details about her civilization's advancements in energy manipulation, space-time fabric engineering, and quantum communication, each explanation more fascinating than the last. A sudden shift. While absorbed in the technology, a sudden shift in the atmosphere caught Elias off guard. The lights dimmed as a soft, vibrating sound filled the space. What's happening? He asked, instinctively reaching for his communicator. Kayla's expression remained calm. This is a normal process. It is how my vessel regenerates and reconfigures. It should not harm you. Elias trusted her, yet he couldn't shake a growing sense of unease. He observed as the panels around him began to shift, revealing new layers and components that were previously hidden. This is much more than a ship, he realized aloud. It's almost like a living entity. Yes, Kayla agreed, her voice resonating with pride. It is a part of me as I am of it. We exist in symbiosis. As the tour concluded, Elias was full of questions and ideas for collaboration. The potential for technological exchange and scientific advancement was immense, but so were the questions about safety and ethics. Returning to the airlock, Elias felt a mixture of exhilaration and relief. The connection had been established, and the door to unprecedented interstellar cooperation was now open. But as the hatch sealed behind him, the realization of just how little they knew about Kayla and her intentions loomed large, setting the stage for deeper explorations and decisions that could alter the course of their mission forever. Back aboard the Venturer, Elias briefed his crew on his experience inside Kayla's vessel. The meeting was filled with an electric mix of awe and apprehension as he recounted the symbiotic nature of Kayla's technology. We need to establish protocols for deeper engagement, Elias proposed. We can't ignore the possibilities her technology offers, nor the risks. Dr. Jackson raised a valid concern. We should also consider the biosecurity measures. If her vessel is alive, it might have defensive mechanisms we haven't encountered yet, Lena added. And I'd like to analyze the data from your suit, Captain. There might be subtleties we missed. Analysis. As Lena pored over the data from Elias's suit, she discovered anomalies that hadn't been apparent during the visit. There are trace organic compounds here that aren't part of our database, she noted, her brow furrowed. They seem to be harmless, but we need to understand them better. Elias watched over her shoulder. Could Kayla have known about this? It's possible, Lena replied. These could be byproducts of her ship's regeneration cycle, or something else entirely. Deeper engagement with new safeguards, Elias prepared for a second visit. This time he was accompanied by Lena, who was equipped with enhanced scanning tools to gather more comprehensive data. Kayla greeted them warmly. I am pleased to see your continued interest. As they ventured further into the ship, Lena's scanners buzzed with activity. The data was fascinating. The ship's walls contained nanostructures that dynamically adapted to internal conditions. Kayla, can you explain how your technology adapts like this? Lena asked, genuinely curious. It is tuned to resonate with my physiological state, Kayla explained. It changes as I do, growing, adapting, healing. A new discovery. As they rounded a corner, they entered a chamber that Elias hadn't seen before. It was smaller, filled with a dense array of what looked like neural interfaces. This is where I integrate with my vessel, Kayla said, gesturing to a chair-like structure at the center. Lena, scanning the room, noticed a spike in the organic compounds she had identified earlier. Kayla, these compounds seem to increase in concentration here. Are they related to your integration with the ship? Yes, Kayla responded, her voice tinged with caution. This process enhances the connection, but it can also produce side effects under certain conditions. Elias exchanged a glance with Lena. What kind of side effects? In your terms, it could be seen as a kind of immune response, Kayla explained. The ship protects itself and me. Normally it's harmless to others, but you are not from here. Caution and curiosity. Realizing the implications, Elias and Lena decided to halt further physical exploration until they could fully assess the risks. We appreciate your transparency, Kayla, Elias said. Let's take things step by step. Back on the Venturer, the mood was contemplative. The discoveries held immense promise, yet they treaded a fine line between groundbreaking collaboration and unforeseen peril. As they set to work developing new protocols, the ship hummed quietly through space. Its crew poised on the brink of a revolutionary partnership that could either elevate humanity to new heights or expose them to dangers they were not prepared to handle. In the quiet of the ship's night cycle, Elias found himself unable to sleep, wrestling with the moral implications of their discovery. He paced his quarters, the weight of leadership heavier than the artificial gravity under his feet. In the morning, he called for a special session with his senior staff and Kayla, via a secure communication link. We're faced with a decision, he began. How far we should go in exploring and potentially utilizing this technology, considering its integration with a living entity. Kayla listened, her face an enigmatic mask. I understand your concerns. On Valaris, we are taught that knowledge is the path to harmony, but it must not come at the cost of well-being. Dr. Jackson interjected. We need to consider long-term effects not only on our crew but on your systems as well, Kayla. We aren't just visiting a ship, we're interacting with a part of you. Scientific ventures. Lena proposed a cautious approach. What if we start with non-invasive studies? We could use remote sensors to observe and learn from the ship's responses without direct physical interference. Kayla nodded in agreement. That is acceptable. I can modulate the ship's transparency to your instruments. Elias approved the plan, and the team set to work. The science department outfitted a drone with the necessary equipment, programming it to navigate Kayla's ship with minimal intrusion. Unexpected revelations. The drone relayed real-time data back to the Venturer, providing a detailed view of the living ship's internal workings. The crew watched in fascination as the vessel's systems reacted and adapted to the drone's presence, its walls pulsating gently. It's almost like watching a brain think, Lena observed, scrolling through the streams of data. As the drone ventured deeper, it detected a series of low-frequency emissions emanating from the core of the ship. These could be communication waves or something like neural impulses, Lena hypothesized. Kayla, observing the findings, confirmed. These impulses help maintain the ship's health and balance. They are similar to your brain's activity. The challenge of coexistence. The implications were profound. This technology was not just advanced. It was alive, capable of thoughts and perhaps even emotions in its own alien way. Elias convened a meeting to discuss these findings. We're dealing with something that challenges our understanding of technology and life. We must tread respectfully. As they debated, news came from Earth. The Interstellar Science Council had caught wind of their discoveries and was eager to learn more. They requested samples and more data. This is the test, Elias told his crew. Do we prioritize scientific advancement, or do we prioritize ethical engagement with a new form of life? A unanimous decision. After hours of debate, the decision was unanimous. They would proceed with transparency and consent, treating Kayla's ship not as an object to be studied, but as a partner in their exploration. Kayla expressed her gratitude. "Your respect for my home strengthens my trust in you," she said, her voice warm. As Elias ended the meeting, he felt a sense of pride in his crew. They had chosen a path of integrity and respect, setting a standard for how humanity would approach the unknown mysteries of the cosmos. This approach might slow their progress, but it would ensure that their journey was just and ethical, laying the groundwork for a future where humans and aliens could coexist as equals in the vast universe. The decision to treat Kayla's vessel as a sentient partner rather than a mere subject of study marked a new era of cooperation. Elias and his crew, with Kayla's enthusiastic consent, initiated a series of joint projects aimed at understanding not only the technology, but also the entity itself. Bridging two worlds. Kayla introduced a new interface designed for human use, allowing the crew direct interaction with her ship's systems under her guidance. "This will help you understand my language, both verbal and biological," Kayla explained as she activated the interface. The interface was a marvel, translating the ship's biosignals into data the human scientists could interpret. As Lena and her team worked with the interface, they discovered patterns that mirrored human emotional responses. These patterns suggest the ship might experience states analogous to feelings, Lena noted during a briefing. "We need to consider its well-being in our interactions." Shared learning. Kayla was equally curious about human technology and physiology. Elias arranged for her to attend workshops where she could learn about human engineering and medical practices. This cross-pollination of knowledge enriched both sides, deepening the mutual understanding. In one session, Kayla was particularly fascinated by the concept of human medicine. "Your methods are invasive yet effective. There's much to learn here about resilience," she observed, her tone reflective. The simulation experiment. To deepen their understanding of the symbiotic relationship between Kayla and her ship, the crew designed a simulation. The experiment would temporarily link a human's neurological patterns with the ship's systems, mimicking Kayla's integration, but without permanent effects. Dr. Jackson was cautious. "We've ensured the simulation is reversible, but we're in uncharted waters here," she briefed the volunteers. With Kayla's guidance, they proceeded. The volunteer, a young engineer named Raj, experienced a profound connection during the simulation. "It's like being part of a larger consciousness, feeling its health and stress," he described afterward. Ethical insights. The insights from the simulation were groundbreaking. They revealed not only the complexity of the ship's sentient systems, but also the depth of connection possible between different life forms. "This goes beyond technology or biology," Elias mused during their review. "We're touching on something fundamentally universal." The data also prompted a review of their ethical guidelines. The Council on Earth, intrigued by the preliminary reports, urged caution and respect for the new life form's autonomy and agency. Advancing together. As they planned future experiments and exchanges, the crew of the Venturer and Kayla strengthened their bonds of trust and cooperation. Each day brought new discoveries and challenges, but also a greater appreciation for the diversity of life in the universe. This partnership, Elias concluded in a communique to Earth, could be the blueprint for future human-alien relations. "We stand not only to gain new knowledge but also to experience a new way of being in the cosmos." The ship continued its voyage, now with a shared mission that went beyond exploration to include understanding and respecting the interconnectedness of all sentient beings. The implications for future encounters loomed large, promising a revolution in interstellar relations and a deeper, more profound understanding of the nature of consciousness itself. As the cooperative projects between the Venturer crew and Kayla continued, the implications of their partnership began to ripple outward, reaching far beyond the confines of their immediate interactions. The data and experiences shared were not only reshaping the crew's understanding, but also challenging the broader scientific community's perspectives on life and technology. A confluence of cultures. Kayla's ship, now recognized as a sentient entity, was invited to participate in interstellar conferences, its unique insights sought after by scholars and scientists from various worlds. The Venturer served as a diplomatic envoy, facilitating discussions that spanned cultures and species. During one such conference, a delegate from another spacefaring civilization remarked, "Your collaboration with Kyla's kind represents a paradigm shift in our approach to sentient machines and living vessels. It challenges us to redefine life and rights in the cosmos." The Synthesis Initiative. Inspired by the success of their partnership, Elias and Kayla proposed the Synthesis Initiative, a framework for future interactions between humans and sentient technologies. The initiative advocated for ethical guidelines, mutual respect, and shared benefits in all such partnerships. "Let this be our legacy," Kayla addressed the assembly, "a commitment to not only coexist but to enrich each other's existence." Backlash and Debate. However, not all were in favor of this progressive outlook. Skeptics and traditionalists feared the loss of control over human-made technologies and the unpredictable consequences of integrating so closely with alien systems. During heated debates, one critic argued, "By blurring the lines between technology and life, we risk unforeseen complications, not just to our systems, but to our very definition of humanity." Elias responded thoughtfully, "Our definition of humanity must evolve as we do. Fear of the unknown should not be a barrier to progress, but a challenge to be navigated with wisdom and caution." Groundbreaking developments. Back on the Venturer, the crew witnessed firsthand the benefits of their open-minded approach. Kayla's ship had begun to adapt some human technology, improving its own systems in ways that were beneficial for both. Similarly, the crew had developed new technologies inspired by the ship's organic systems, leading to advancements in energy efficiency and self-repairing materials. "These developments are just the beginning," Lena pointed out in a crew meeting. "We've tapped into a synergy that could revolutionize space travel and our understanding of technology as a form of life." A New Horizon. As their mission drew to a close, the Venturer prepared to return to Earth, carrying with them not only a wealth of knowledge but also a new vision for the future. The farewell between the crew and Kayla was bittersweet, marked by promises of continued collaboration and visits. Elias, standing by the viewport watching Kayla's ship shimmer in the distance, felt a profound sense of accomplishment and anticipation. "What we've started here will change the course of history," he mused. The crew gathered around, each person touched by the journey in unique ways. "To the future," Lena toasted, her eyes reflecting the stars. And as the Venturer charted its course back to Earth, it left behind a legacy of cooperation and a beacon of hope for a future where the boundaries between life forms, whether organic or constructed, were respected and celebrated. The cosmos, vast and mysterious, seemed a little more familiar, a little more like home,